Cedar Creek was a small, quiet town nestled in the dense forests of the American Midwest. Known for its picturesque scenery and peaceful demeanor, the town was the epitome of rural tranquility. However, beneath its serene surface lay a dark secret that would soon unravel, plunging its residents into a nightmare from which there would be no escape. One chilly autumn evening, as the leaves turned fiery hues of red and gold, two strangers arrived in Cedar Creek. Their names were Jonathan and Eliza Rhodes, a brother and sister who had inherited a large, dilapidated estate on the outskirts of town. The estate, known as Blackwood Manor, had been abandoned for years, its once grand structure now shrouded in decay and overgrown with ivy. The Rhodes siblings were eager to restore the manor to its former glory, having heard tales of its historical significance and its potential as a grand residence. The townsfolk, though wary of the manor's unsettling reputation, were curious about the newcomers and offered their assistance. Yet, there was an unspoken sense of dread that lingered in the air, a feeling that something was amiss in the old house. The manor had a history steeped in tragedy. Built in the early 1800s by a wealthy landowner named Samuel Blackwood, the estate had seen its share of prosperity and misfortune. Blackwood was a man of ambition, but his fortunes changed when his daughter, Amelia, mysteriously vanished one stormy night. Rumors spread that Amelia had been sacrificed in dark rituals, and her disappearance was linked to the occult practices that Blackwood was rumored to engage in. The manor fell into disrepair after Blackwood's death, and the estate became a place of whispered legends and ghostly sightings. Over the years, it was said that the spirits of those who perished within its walls still wandered the halls, seeking vengeance or release from their torment. As Jonathan and Eliza began their renovations, strange occurrences started to plague the manor. At first, it was small things, a creaking floorboard here, a cold draft there. But soon, the phenomena became more pronounced. Objects moved on their own, whispers echoed through empty rooms, and shadowy figures seemed to flicker at the edge of their vision. One night, as Eliza was working late in the library, she heard a soft, mournful wail coming from the basement. Unable to ignore the sound, she descended the creaky stairs, her lantern casting eerie shadows on the walls. The wail grew louder, more desperate, until she reached the basement and found a small, dusty chest. She hesitated but eventually opened it, only to find old, rotting books and faded documents, none of which seemed to explain the chilling noise. The tension in the manor escalated, and Jonathan began to investigate the manor's history, delving into old records and town archives. He discovered that Samuel Blackwood had been rumored to have conducted dark rituals in a secret chamber hidden within the manor. Desperate to understand the source of the haunting, Jonathan and Eliza decided to search for this chamber. On a stormy night, when the wind howled and lightning illuminated the sky, they finally found the hidden chamber behind a false wall in the cellar. The chamber was lined with old symbols and arcane inscriptions. In the center of the room was a large, ornate altar, covered in dust and cobwebs. As they examined the room, the temperature dropped sharply, and a chilling presence seemed to fill the air. Suddenly, the room was engulfed in darkness. The whispers grew louder, and ghostly figures began to materialize around them. The spirits, tormented and angry, seemed to reach out toward the Rhodes siblings. Eliza screamed as a cold, spectral hand touched her shoulder, and Jonathan felt an overwhelming sense of dread. In the midst of the chaos, Jonathan found an old journal on the altar, its pages filled with frantic, illegible writing. As he read, he realized that Samuel Blackwood had indeed conducted forbidden rituals to summon and control spirits, but something had gone horribly wrong. The spirits he sought to control were now bound to the manor, trapped in an endless cycle of torment. Desperate to put an end to the suffering, Jonathan and Eliza decided to perform a counter-ritual they found in the journal. As they recited the ancient incantations, the spirits grew more agitated, their wails reaching a deafening crescendo. The manor shook, and the walls seemed to pulse with malevolent energy. With a final, desperate plea, they completed the ritual. The room was suddenly filled with a blinding light, and the spirits began to wail in agony before vanishing into the ether. The temperature returned to normal, and the oppressive atmosphere lifted. The next morning, the storm had passed, and Cedar Creek returned to its usual calm. Jonathan and Eliza decided to leave Blackwood Manor behind, their lives forever changed by the events of the past few days. They left the estate in the care of the townspeople, who were both relieved and curious about the manor's newfound tranquility. The haunting of Blackwood Manor became a legend in Cedar Creek, a tale of terror and redemption that was whispered among the townsfolk. The Rhodes siblings never spoke of their experiences again, but the story of their confrontation with the spirits became a chilling reminder of the dark secrets that can lie hidden in even the most peaceful places. And so, Blackwood Manor stood silent once more, its secrets buried deep within its walls, awaiting the next chapter of its eerie history.